Well, good morning, grandkids. This is Granny Patty doing lesson number 2. Again, one of my favorite birds in the whole wide world is a hummingbird. This one's called the ruby-throated hummingbird. The ruby-throated hummingbird is about 3 inches long and weighs only 2 to 6 grams. That's not very big. That is about the weight of a small seedless grape. Its wingspan is about 3 to 4 inches long, and it is one of the most common hummingbirds in North America. You can recognize them by the ruby red patch on their throat, but those are only the males. The females do not have red throats and have more plain white and brown markings to help them blend in. Today, we are going to study these amazing birds. Where do they go when they aren't hovering around a flower or a feeder? Activity break. Listen, guys, you can look up some pictures of the ruby-throated hummingbird and see if there are any in your region. Can you find a sound clip of a hummingbird call? Have you ever seen a hummingbird close? I can tell you, if you come to my house and spend a little bit, I've got 2 hummingbird feeders in my backyard, and it works, and I get to see I think I see a ruby-throated hummingbird a lot. Anyways, the ruby-throated hummingbird can fly up to 900 miles without stopping. For a little bird, that's an impressive flight. Some of them might migrate across the Gulf of Mexico, which is a nonstop 20-hour flight over water and would take more calories than their body weight with no food or water along the way. Imagine running without stopping or drinking water for 20 hours straight. I don't know if I could do that. Hummingbirds have very long bills, and they're thin, that allow them to drink nectar from inside of a flower. Their wings can beat up to 80 times per second, and kind of like a helicopter, they allow the hummingbird to hover for periods of time and move in any direction. Because of how fast their wings beat, sometimes they are difficult to see when they are in flight. You also may hear a hum or buzzing sound from their wings when they are flying near a feeder or flower. Their coloring or markings help us identify the species, whether they are male or female, and even how old they are. Now, what do hummingbirds eat? Well, their diet consists of nectar from flowers and flowering trees. They are also known to eat small bugs, such as a spider from a spider web. They are attracted to bright colored flowers, which is why you may notice hummingbird feeders are usually bright red or yellow. Hummingbirds help plant pollinate by transferring pollen from flower to flower on their bills while they are feeding. They can drink up to 2 times their body weight in nectar each day. Now, where do these hummingbirds live? That's called the habitat. Ruby-throated hummingbirds are migratory. Let me say this again. Ruby-throated hummingbirds are migratory birds, and they fly north to breed as far as southern Canada and south to winter as far down as Central America. The farther north that they go to breed, the further north they winter. For example, if a ruby-throated hummingbird was breeding in Alberta, Canada, it might only go to Florida to winter, whereas a hummingbird who was breeding in Florida might fly across the Gulf of Mexico to winter. They build their nests in shrubs or trees and can be found in forests, gardens, and orchards. The female hummingbird builds the nest and raises the young, and males and females do not stay together once they have mated. They build their nets with lichen, spiderwebs, animal hair, and other fibers they may find. I'm going to have to look at what lichen means because I don't know what that means. Now, what's their life cycle? Females lay 1 to 3 white eggs about a ½ inch in size and can have 2 broods in a summer. That means they can lay 2 sets of eggs in a summer. They incubate their eggs, sit on them, for 16 to 18 days. Chicks are completely naked and dependent on their mother to care for them and keep them warm. As the nestlings grow, she finds tiny insects and nectar and hovers over them, regurgitating food into their mouths. Now that sounds kind of gross. Mom will have to explain that to you. At around 3 weeks old, chicks become fledglings. Mom helps the fledglings for a few days, showing them where to gather food before she leaves them to their own. Ruby-throated hummingbirds have a lifespan of about 5 to 7 years, though females generally live longer than males. Because they are so small, hummingbirds are vulnerable to many different predators, including snakes, larger birds, and lizards. They are more at risk when they are perched on a branch, as they are so fast when they are flying and can change directions quickly. Now, there's an assignment, and you're going to have to let your mom give you instructions, because according to this book, it says, students, it's time to work in your notebooks. This has been my pleasure to read this all to you, and I'm learning right along with you. I love you all. Talk soon. Bye.